Awesome. Well, thank you to everyone who has joined. We're super excited for the University of Arizona Masters in Data Science webinar we're hosting here in the morning for most of you, night for some of us. This is going to be a really great opportunity to learn all the ins and outs of the program and also ask some questions. So once we get finished with introductions, we'll let Eric take the floor. He will do a brief introduction of himself, what role he plays at the university, as well as some really great information about the program itself. After his presentation, we will open it up for Q&As. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, I know that you're not able to unmute yourself and talk at this time, so feel free to either write them in the chat or the Q&A feature, and we'll make sure to get them. Or if you'd like to hold them till the end, you will be entered into the room and be able to unmute yourself and ask real time over the audio. So that is an option as well. The webinar will be recorded for any of you. If you know anyone who wanted to come to the webinar, but maybe their schedule didn't allow for it, please let them know that we will be recording the webinar and it will be posted to our YouTube and it can be accessed there. So with all that being said, again, thank you for being here, and I will hand it over to Karshan.
Hey, good morning. Thank you, Darby. I'm Utkarsha. I'm looking after the international admissions part from South Asia. And Jatin is not available today, so I'm here. So I would like Eric to start the webinar.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. My name is Eric Gonzales. I'm here in Tucson, Arizona, coming to you live. I've worked for the University of Arizona for a couple of years now. I have managed our admissions programs as well as other important aspects of our department. I don't have my colleague on with me for this webinar, but I do want to introduce Barry Zucker, who is our admissions counselor and is most likely the person you'll communicate any inquiries with. And he's just a wonderful person, and we're glad to have him. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. I got a PowerPoint. Okay. There we go. Oops. So yes, University of Arizona is one of the, well, it is the oldest, the first university for the state of Arizona, one of the better funded and more popular here in the state. We are really happy to be able to offer these wonderful grad programs in what we are now a college. And so we are Arizona's first and only iSchool. And you may see some things that say we are part of the SBS college. We are actually, as of July 1st, our own standalone college. So we're really excited about that. We have already brought in 6 new faculty and several new staff members already last count to be able to accommodate the growth in students that we're having. I'm thrilled to see that many, if not most, of our applicants for the Masters in Data Science are coming from India. And so I can answer a lot of your questions that you have specific to your country. I'll briefly go over some of the admissions requirements, and then I'll discuss a few helpful hints when you're applying that can help you stand out from the crowd. And so you are required to have completed your bachelor's degree to enter our master's program. It needs to be from an accredited college university in about 120 units. And if you're from a year university, that's a hard requirement. Also, we calculate GPA as a 3.0 or higher, and I know many schools in India use a 10-point system, so it's a 7.5 on a 10-point system. Our faculty review committee are going to look at your documents in your application. They're going to look at your transcripts. So when you're applying to the program, you only need to supply unofficial transcripts to submit that application. If you have not obtained your degree yet, you're still in process of your undergrad degree, you can go ahead and supply what you have up to this point, and then when you finish the degree, then you can submit your official transcripts, and you have all the way until 30 days after school starts to provide those official transcripts. We accept a wide variety of majors, particularly those with backgrounds in computer science, programming, computer engineering, areas similar to that. The faculty review committee are looking for students who have taken courses in programming, hopefully 2 or more courses in programming, some linear math such as algebra, and some computer science courses. And so our program is pretty advanced, and so you don't want to feel lost once you enter our program. So having that background will be very instrumental to your progress and to your success. As for language proficiency, if you are from India or you attended a university that's English was the spoken language, then you do not need to provide that English proficiency scores. If you did not, if you attended a university where a different language was spoken, a foreign language to English was spoken, then you would need to provide either a TOEFL or an IELTS. Unfortunately, our grad programs do not take Duolingo, but there are some ways we can help you with that. And just thinking of some applicants that I've had recently from India, GRE is not required, but you can provide that if you have it. And we also do not require transcript evaluations such as WES or WES, but if you have it, you can supply it. So not required, but you can provide it if you have it. So when you submit your application, generally when you're applying, there's an application fee, but I understand that through Wellspring International, you don't have to pay that fee. And so there are some other documents that we will be looking for. In addition to, as I mentioned, the unofficial transcripts, we're going to look at your resume or CV. So any professional experience, this is a great place to put that in there and make sure it looks clear that you have some, data science in your career field, if that be the case. We're also going to ask for a minimum of 2 letters of recommendation. We ask that if you can get those from a prior professor or academic mentor, that is preferred. We like to see those on letterhead with a signature. But if you cannot obtain those, maybe you can get some professional letters from your place of employment, something like that. And then when they provide those letters of recommendation, we're really looking for them to describe why they feel you would be successful in our program, what traits and skills that they see about you that will help you and anything else helpful to our recommenders to know about you. We appreciate that from another source. And the statement of purpose is really your opportunity to shine. And so in your statement of purpose, we want those to be somewhat brief and to the point, but we definitely ask that you describe why you want to enter the program, what experiences you've had with data, and maybe, what you think you see yourself doing in the future after you obtain the degree. So those are some things that our faculty review committee are going to look for. And like I said, this will help distinguish you from the others who are applying for this field. So we recommend for admission about 50% is the rate, which means we're getting about twice as many applicants as we have seats for. So it's a very popular program. We're happy that data science is a part of our school. It's somewhat new. We barely had our first graduating class. We're really thrilled with how well these students did. It's only 30 units to complete the course, and that includes, to complete the program, that includes a capstone project and an internship. I also want to say that this program is available online through AZ Online or in person through Arizona main campus. And so there are some different requirements, and because of that, the tuition cost is different. I can't really answer what the tuition cost is specifically, but we do have an online tuition calculator where you can go in yourself and look up what that's going to cost for you. So this will be the application that you submit. Generally, we try to have a decision for you about 4 weeks or less after the deadline for the applications. So the applications for spring of 2024 will be September 1st. So you still have time to put your application for spring of 24. And if you want to apply for fall of 2024, you can apply until February 15th. And just know, if you are planning to come in person, you need to do that as soon as you can, because there's some I-20 F1 visa applications that take some time. So I'm sure you'll have plenty of help to do that. So just know, the reason why we close those so far in advance is so that you have the best opportunity to get your visa in time to start in that semester that you've applied for. We have some excellent campus resources, which I'll discuss a little bit more in detail, but basically you have some great, you'll get a student ID with digital access, different resources. There's some academic resources for students, as well as some career development resources. We have the alumni network, which is a network that allows you to connect with former alumni. We have the Office of Student Engagement and Career Development, and we have Handshake, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So the Bear Down Network, you're probably thinking, what does bear down mean? Well, bear down is a football term that we use that means to toughen up and, let's win this play. So we call it bear down. And so we use this a little bit as a nickname. So the Bear Down Network is an online gateway through the Arizona Alumni Association, which allows you to connect with over 300,000 alumni for networking purposes. And, they can share jobs, they can share resources when it comes to research, internships, things like that. So there's a lot that you can do through this association. There's the Wildcat Mentor Society, and this is kind of a broader networking where you can create some mentor-mentee relationships beyond the program. And then we have the Alumni Association, which is actually the umbrella for all the alumni programs. And so there's some different chapters and clubs and activities that allow you to connect and network with other alumni and participate in career events. We have the University of Arizona Office of Student Engagement and Career Development, which will also help you with some one-on-one chats about career counseling, talking about any questions or goals you have. You can explore some online resources, attend some webinars, workshops, things like that to help you prepare for next steps after graduation. And then we are also part of the Handshake Network, which is pretty much a job finding tool. It's very user friendly for employers. So when it's user friendly for employers, they usually post and repeat posting employment opportunities. So there's some great resources there to find some jobs. All of our U of A students have access to our library services, just tremendous source of journals, ebooks, databases, and so much more. And so when you're doing your research projects and your capstones, all that, you have this wonderful resource to you. And then you also get some software. So you'll get Microsoft Office 365, Adobe Creative Cloud, Zoom, and you'll also get an Arizona email that you can use for life. And also U of A also offers Box Drive. So Box Drive allows you to save different types of files. And it gives you unlimited access, so you don't have to pay for storage. So that's pretty much basics for this program. I'm sure there's probably some very specific questions out there that you have for me. So I'll open it up to some questions, and I'm happy to answer those for you.
Amazing. I will let our peeps into the room. And like I said at the beginning, if you would rather type in your questions either in the chat feature or in the Q&A feature, feel free. If you would like, you can also unmute yourself and ask the question aloud.
Hi, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
I have a question. Like, since you mentioned that you have given a waiver for students who had English as a mode of instruction in their school, so they don't have to submit their English scores. So can you please tell me if it's applicable for all the students, or is there a waiver for any specific applicant who's applying for a specific program?
It's available for all the applicants.
Okay, so if the student is applying for hypothetically for data science in your university, so they require only transcripts, resume, LOR, GRE, that's it, right?
Correct.
Great, thank you. And one more question. Is there a specific number to the backlogs? Like a student who has like more than 7 backlogs cannot apply to a specific program, or anything that is required, like any specific number that is required by you, that you can't accept applications above from this number in terms of backlogs?
We don't really take that into consideration as long as you meet the other hard requirements. So if you have the 3.0 GPA and you meet the minimum units, it doesn't matter about the backlogs won't affect you.
Okay, because I have a student, he has 11 backlogs, 323 GRE, and he's planning for MS data science only. So I was wondering if GRE is not an issue and the scores is not an issue, we can try this university for him. And the GPA is 6.5, I guess.
We're going to look at the GPA of 6.5, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
there's 2 ways we do calculate the
Okay.
GPA. So we
Okay.
can use either the cumulative,
Right.
the CGPA, or we can use the last 60 credits over 2 years. So whichever one is better, we can use that.
Okay, great, great. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Question, thank you.
Eric, I just want to ask, like data science program offers any scholarship for students?
That's a great question. Unfortunately, since we are a new program, we don't have very much college level funding for data science and or international students. But there are some opportunities through Scholarship University. The students can find that through international.arizona.edu. They are competitive scholarships, but there are some available to international students.
And
we
when student can apply for that?
Well, the Scholarship University is always open, so you can see anytime. You can see what opportunities are there.
Looks like we had somebody write in for a question. Is the GRE required for the MS in data science?
No, we do not require GRE. If you have it, you can provide it, but we are not going to require that.
Does it make any changes like in the evaluation?
If you have a good GRE score, then yes, I would definitely provide it. It can help. Those are all very good questions. Anyone else have anything?
It looks like we got one in the Q&A. All right. Do the students need to upload letters of recommendations, or do they need to be sent directly by the recommenders?
Great question. They will be sent directly by the recommenders. So when you put in their contact information, they're going to receive an auto-generated email with instructions on how to submit that letter.
And then I think we also got one in the chat. Are 3-year degrees accepted?
Yes, absolutely. We will take a 3-year degree from any accredited universities as long as you have achieved 120 credit hours.
Amazing. Have we got spoke too soon? Score reporting required. Is score reporting required? Do you know, Eric?
I'm not sure which score they're referring to. Could you specify maybe? So if this is English proficiency scores, again, it doesn't necessarily apply to students from India because we know India is an English speaking country.
That didn't answer your question. If you were referring to a different score, just feel free to write it and then we can address.
Sorry, I have one last question. Like, since someone asked about the score reporting, so if a student is planning to send the GRE scores for any specific program, then they are required for the official score reporting, or the unofficial score would work.
For GRE, since it's not required, unofficial will be acceptable.
Great, thank you.
Yes.
Great question. Well, does anyone have any last minute questions while we wrap up the webinar? Well, if you think of any questions after the fact, please be sure to reach out to Utkarsha, Jatin, and Shrikant. They are a great resource to get any questions you may have lingering after digesting some of this information. A big thank you to Eric for being here with us. I know for most of you it's early morning, but for us here in the US, it's late night. So we really appreciate Eric taking the time out of his evening to be here with us all for sure. And we are also very grateful to all of you who joined us today. Before we wrap up, I have another question in the Q&A talking about total tuition fees. If Eric, you want to speak to that, I can drop that link again if you'd like.
Yeah, so again, there's variables to what that cost is going to be. So we do provide the tuition calculator on our website, and anyone can go in there and research that. But we are asked not to share numbers because it could differ from one person to the next.
Great, and I just dropped the link to the tuition calculator that Eric referenced, so be sure to copy that for your own use.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, like I was saying, thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and I hope that you all have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you may be in the world.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Take care.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Ravi.